Tear the roots up from the floor, board and tar against the door. Murder, murder, murder.
Sink the tooth into the wood, still the horses with a hood.
Murder,
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 murder.
Raise the book and cast the oil, fingers in the Father's soil.
Murder,
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 murder, murder be thy name. Out, out, murder be thy name.
When the lung fills up with straw, cut the wire from the jaw.
Murder,
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 murder.
When the eye reflects the moon, hold the tongue down with a spoon.
Murder,
Murder,
murder.
murder. When the throat spills in the bowl, pry the altar from the hole. Murder, 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 murder be thy name. Out, out, murder be thy name. Scratch the deed upon the nail, and ring the die into the pail. I seal the fault upon the skin, and carry on our brother's sin. I trace the blood upon the hood, and drag the chains to split the roof. Murder, 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 murder be thy name. Out, out, murder be thy name. If the spine begins to twist, bind the irons to the wrist.
If the gambrel spit and thrash, steal your feet into the ash. If the mud should gape and moan, hold on to the slaughter stone. Murder, 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 murder. Murder be thy name. Out, out, murder be thy name. Murder be thy name. Out, out, murder be thy name. Murder be thy name. Out, out, murder be thy name. Murder be thy name. And let there be blood. Out in the wood where the children play, the children play, the children play. Out in the wood where the children play, the cock crows every morning. All of the boys in their skeleton suits had gathered round a mound of roots, muddy the cross as black as their boots, planted and bloodied and warning. The pale little bonnets, they tried to peek, they tried to peek, they tried to peek. Pale little bonnets, they tried to peek. The cock crows every morning. Tell us, oh brothers, what does not sleep, but hides under the cross's keep. Small is the grave and none too deep. Who are we brothers here mourning?
Where is quiet Johnny? Quiet Johnny can't be saved. Where is quiet Johnny? Quiet Johnny, quiet grave.
Each of the boys made his hand a spade, his hand a spade, his hand a spade. Each of the boys made his hand a spade. The cock crows every morning. They fell in a heap to claw the mud, that dyed their knees and sleeves in rud, shoveled them till the ground bore blood, with all the blowflies warning.
Where is
Mother, I am warmed by the day, chasing through the ice and wood where William and I oft fetch and play. Out of breath, Mother, please don't stand in the way. these cottons from my frame, so red and frail am I could sway to my death.
Tell not thorn nor lie, speak to me, O murdered child, troubles in your eye. Speak to me, O murdered child, you bite the hand that feeds and crows, so down here naked in the snow. Tell not thorn nor lie, speak to me, O murdered child.
Mother, I must go to my bed. Remove your windy barn door hands, these stains are of a hair that I've bled on my sword. Mother, I have reasoned and pled. 𝔬𝔐𝔬𝔱𝔦𝔵 spoilt and late, for this is
Three little sisters.
Mother, I am worn by the day, chasing through the ice and wood where William and I oft fetch and play, out of breath. Mother, please don't stand in the way. Help these cottons from my frame, so red and frail am I could sway to my death.
Tell not thorn nor lie, speak to me, O murdered child, troubles in your eye. Speak to me, O murdered child, you bite the hand that feeds and crows, so down here naked in the snow. Tell not thorn nor lie, speak to me, O murdered child.
Mother, I must go to my bed. Remove your windy barn door hands, these stains are of a hair that I've bled on my sword. Mother, I have reasoned and pled. 𝔬𝔐𝔬𝔱𝔦𝔵 spoilt and late, for this is not the shade of his red, by my word.
Tell not thorn nor lie, speak to me, O murdered child, troubles in your eye. Speak to me, O murdered child, you bite the hand that feeds and crows, so count here naked in the snow. Tell not thorn nor lie, speak to me, O murdered child, tell not thorn nor lie, speak to me, O murdered child, troubles in your eye. Speak to me, O murdered child, you bite the hand that feeds and crows, so count here naked in the snow. Tell not thorn nor lie, speak to me, O murdered child.
Whether shall I tender a staff to why a woman births and knits, yet keeps not her dear William from the drab of the frost? Mother, please don't play to his jab. Surely he'll return to grace you while your firstborn's cold as a slab on your cross.
Tell not thorn nor lie, speak to me, O murdered child, troubles in your eye. Speak to me, O murdered child, you bite the hand that feeds and crows, so count here naked in the snow. Tell not thorn nor lie, speak to me, O murdered child.
After the spring you shall find him, after the snow leaves the hill. After the spring you shall find him. Till then there's no grave to fill. After the spring you shall find him. After the snow leaves the hill. After the spring you shall find him. Till then there's no grave to fill.
Hush falls the evening and tickles the bell.
1 freckle, 3 freckle, 4. Hush falls the evening and tickles the bell. Love, close your eyes, there are stories to tell. Troubles and marks and sakes to keep. Blow out the candle and go to sleep. I hang the moon that looks to the west, tied to your pillow and twice round your chest. Should the sky thunder and should the stars mist, water the branches that sprout from your wrist. Once was a man on a dark and cruel road, 1 freckle, 3 freckle, 4. Once was a man on a dark and cruel road, with strangers and brothers and caravans told, troubles and marks and sakes to keep. Blow out the candles and go to sleep. Each pushed in fog with a wife and a child, 1 freckle, 3 freckle, 4. Each pushed in fog with a wife and a child, out of Virginia and into the wild. Troubles and marks and sakes to keep. Blow out the candle and go to sleep. I hang the moon that looks to the west, tied to your pillow and twice round your chest. Should the sky thunder and should the stars mist, water the branches that sprout from your wrist. Wife shook with fever and sick went the air, 1 freckle, 3 freckle, 4. Wife shook with fever and sick went the air. He tied her to saddle till thirst took the mare. Troubles, marks, and sakes to keep. Blow out the candle and go to sleep. Some drifted missing and some drifted found, 1 freckle, 3 freckle, 4. Some drifted missing and some drifted found. He carried his wife till they fell to the ground. Troubles and marks and sakes to keep. Blow out the candle and go to sleep. I hang the moon that looks to the west, tied to your pillow and twice round your chest. Should the sky thunder and should the stars mist, water the branches that sprout from your wrist. He held her down with a man and his son, 1 freckle, 3 freckle, 4. He held her down with a man and his son. Nobody spoke as he emptied his gun. Troubles and marks and sakes to keep. Blow out the candle and go to sleep. Wagons and wheels turned and limped as he froze, 1 freckle, 3 freckle, 4. Wagons and heels turned and limped as he froze. He strangled her locket away from the crows. Troubles and marks and sakes to keep. Blow out the candle and go to sleep. I hang the moon that looks to the west, tied to your pillow and twice round your chest. Should the sky thunder and should the stars mist, water the branches that sprout from your wrist. Day came and he and his blood were forgot, 1 freckle, 3 freckle, 4. Day came and he and his blood were forgot, save for the branches that from his wrist shot. Troubles and marks and sakes to keep. Blow out the candle and go to sleep. Weary the prairies and littered with dead, 1 freckle, 3 freckle, 4. Weary the prairies and littered with dead. I'll leave her locket right here on your bed. Troubles and marks and sakes to keep. Blow out the candle and go to sleep. I hang the moon that looks to the west, tied to your pillow and twice round your chest. Should the sky thunder and should the stars mist, water the branches that sprout from your wrist. Hush, hush, my sweet Rosalie? What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? No one can love her half as much as me. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? I fetched her out of a tree with a cane. I fetched her out of a tree with a cane, then combed out the hornets and covered her stains. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? No one can love her half as much as me. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? Love is a white room that cures every ill. The thicker the heart, the stronger the pill. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? I'm mad about her, and she's crazy for me. Men in long coats came with scissors and soap. Men in long coats came with scissors and soap, then dragged her away by a mule and a rope. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? She kissed me once through the wood of her cage. She kissed me once through the wood of her cage, then left a piece of her tooth in my leg. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? No one can love her half as much as me. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? Love is a white room that cures every ill. The thicker the heart, the stronger the pill. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? I'm mad about her, and she's crazy for me. They say she strangled Black Doherty's cat. They say she strangled Black Doherty's cat, but her calico bonnet looked nothing like that. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? And more that she bludgeoned her paw in his bed. And more that she bludgeoned her paw in his bed. But that could have been anyone wearing his head. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? No one can love her half as much as me. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? Love is a white room that cures every ill. The thicker the heart, the stronger the pill. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? I'm mad about her, and she's crazy for me. The old virgins fingered and cried she was lost. The old virgins fingered and cried she was lost. But who wouldn't moan if they played with a cross? What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? Counselor promised her tweed alibis. Counselor promised her tweed alibis, but showed up to court late in a sack full of flies. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? No one can love her half as much as me. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? Love is a white room that cures every ill. The thicker the heart, the stronger the pill. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? I'm mad about her, and she's crazy for me. They lost her in jail, and my guts hit the floor. They lost her in jail, and my guts hit the floor. All the guards that asleep with their heads in the door. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? I cooked a partridge to mark her return. I cooked a partridge to mark her return. I pushed in her chair, brushed the bugs from her waist, unbuckled the straps just to gaze at her face, then blew on her spoon and offered a taste. I napkined her chin as she drooled bone and paste. How sweetly she pushed my cheek into the base, then snatched off the knife and round the table we chased. She giggled and jabbed as wine sprayed on the lace, till my heart gave in after giving the race. She settled herself in my lap and screamed grace. I'm mad about her, and she's crazy for me. What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? What have they done to my sweet Rosalie? No
cleaned his fingers with a knife, my darling, and went out dressing for a wife, oh my pretty darling. Silver song swung from his belts, dangling, tangling. He waded through the tusks and pelts, oh my pretty darling.
6 he shot her with a wink, my darling. Sat her down beside his drink, oh my pretty darling. Her legs a kicking tire swing, dangling, tangling. Toes hung by a stocking string, oh my pretty darling. With tender blades he floured her, my darling. Carved her in the balsam fir, oh my pretty darling. He drew the veils closed on her cheeks, dangling, tangling. Married her down by the creek, oh my pretty darling. Winter bled into the spring, my darling. She caught its bruises in a sling, oh my pretty darling. He stumbled for the bottle's edge, dangling, tangling. She climbed up on the window ledge, oh my pretty darling. He found her in the wire fence, my darling. Dragged her through blood and silence, oh my pretty darling. Threw her body in the sink, dangling, tangling. Poured himself another drink, oh my pretty darling. She woke in the faucet's teeth, my darling. Swimming in the underneath, oh my pretty darling. He bathed her face down as she thrust, dangling, tangling. Swallowing the basin rust, oh my pretty darling. Beyond the thorns and strangled reeds, my darling, a wedding ring amongst the weeds, oh my pretty darling. Just a girl up on a tree, dangling, tangling. Sit beside my drink and me, oh my pretty darling.
Making a meal magical isn't hard. It just needs the right recipe.
Parlors in a town of missing men, Carolina swamped you. Pretty Lavinia of the 6 and 5 mile inns works a lost parlors in a town of missing men. Carolina swamp Jews by the finger as she lingers. Pretty, pretty, pretty Lavinia.
What was in Lavinia's drum? 1 part kisses, 3 part rum. No
Gossip and needles where the chapel ladies meet, and pray for Lavinia sauntering down the street. Where's Ann Coley? What's delayed her? Who can say, sir? Pretty, pretty, pretty Lavinia.
What goes in Lavinia's drum? 1 part kisses, 3 part rum. Northern girl with a southern tongue. Pretty Lavinia. What goes in Lavinia's drum? 1 part kisses, 3 part rum. Northern girl with a southern tongue. Pretty Lavinia.
Mr. 𝔖𴭍𝔬𝔱 found in the penny fish cart, split wide open with salt upon his parts. There's his top hat, there's his waistcoat. Where's the banknote? Pretty, pretty, pretty Lavinia.
Samuel McGinty entered the war and fed, and a shot of red whiskey was poured a black triple instead. Stumbled room 6, there and about, never checked out. Pretty, pretty, pretty Lavinia.
What goes in Lavinia's drum? 1 part kisses, 3 part rum. Northern girl with a southern tongue. Pretty Lavinia. What goes in Lavinia's drum? 1 part kisses, 3 part rum. Northern girl with a southern tongue. Pretty Lavinia.
Pretty Lavinia of the 6 and 5 mile inns works the lost parlors in a town of missing men. Carolina swamp juice by the finger as she lingers. Pretty, pretty, pretty Lavinia. Pretty, pretty, pretty Lavinia of the 6 and 5 mile inns works the lost parlors in a town of missing men. Carolina swamp juice by the finger as she lingers. Pretty, pretty, pretty Lavinia. Pretty, pretty, pretty Lavinia. Pretty, pretty, pretty Lavinia.
We're 6 merry men at the old whiskey shed, swinging wild on our feet, blind and high as a 5. Round and round the barrel till his belly is bled, and every man's pissing fire and howling for life. 1 for the gut, 1 for the Lord, 1 for the elk on the balcony board. Open and flat, wall up the door, every man takes a turn. We're 6 merry men at the old whiskey shed, swinging wild on our feet, blind and high as a 5. Round and round the barrel till his belly is bled, and every man's missing fire and howling for life. Stuck to the floorboards with teeth in his hair, and his left arm splashing in the pool by his hip. As crazy boy Levi is mad as a mare, wipes his good blade, wipes one sweat on his lips. Halfway to Concord and the easy tide, knives in the roof, guts in the ride, every man takes a turn. We're 6 merry men at the old whiskey shed, swinging wild on our feet, blind and high as a 5. Round, round the barrel till his belly is bled, and every man's missing fire and howling for life. Hissing and screams spilling out of his side, where his hands turn to plug at the holes in his vest. Tall and unused boys as shy as a bride, drink up, man, and wedge till she boots in his chest. Twitching in tongues, breaking on chairs, 1 fouls the rug, 1 crawls the stairs, hung by the bar, that isn't cheers, every man takes a turn. We're 6 merry men at the old whiskey shed, swinging wild on our feet, blind and high as a 5. Round, round the barrel till his belly is bled, and every man's pissing fire and howling for life. 1 of us pants, 1 of us weeps, line up the shots, and 4 days till sleep, soaking in blood, pale a sheet. It's good to be alive. Though mine eyes are seeing double, and my powder horn is drunk, another public house a puddle, where the bones and barrels sunk, and my left leg isn't working, as the barking fills with mud, and the bison head is smirking, barley, liberty, and blood, barley, liberty, and blood. Oh, my Columbia, take us in your breast, that blinding scarlet stars, ever spilling west. Oh, my Columbia, snow is red and west. Where's the goddamn bar? There's killing in me yet. Oh, my eyes are seeing double, and my heart is drunk. Another public house a puddle, where the bones and barrels sunk, and my left leg isn't working, and the barking fills with mud, and the bison head is smirking, barley, liberty, and blood, barley, liberty, and blood. Oh, my Columbia, take us in your breast, thy blinding scarlet stars, never spilling west. Oh, my Columbia, snow is red and wet. Where's the goddamn bar? There's killing in me yet. Oh, mine eyes are seeing double, and my powder horn is drunk. Another public house a puddle, where the bones and barrels sunk, and my left leg isn't working, as the barking fills with mud, and the bison head is smirking, barley, liberty, and blood, barley, liberty, and blood. Oh, Mother Columbia, take us in your breast, by blinding scarlet stars, ever spilling west. Oh, Mother Columbia, snow is red and wet. Where's the goddamn bar? Where's the goddamn bar? Oh, Mother Columbia, take us in your breast, that blinding scarlet stars, ever spilling west. Oh, Mother Columbia, snow is red and wet. Where's the goddamn bar? There's killing in me yet.
I must confess that I've not written often of late, and when I do, it is a 6th of June, 1816. I must confess that I've not written often of late, and when I do, it is a clemency I give myself, for the inkwell continues to freeze. This has surely been as cold weather as any man has known. The calendar is false. I say, is this not summer? The east hills that overlook my property, they have all been killed by frost. The less fit plants and vegetation beg for mercy where there is none. I have none. I want none. Worse still, an almost perpetual rain confines me principally to pace the house, where I have taken wearing socks and coats and gloves too big for my fingers. Steady fire has been required at all hours, though the ice in the wood has made it difficult to chop and heavy to carry, troublesome to drag. Copious showers have been attended with lightning and thunder, and the road has been barren of souls for weeks, save for a post delivery last Tuesday. Is this what we fought for? I would have welcomed the company, of course, but it was a parcel inside. The rider asked to come inside to be spared from the crippling frost, but I set him off. This matter was settled when that damn treaty was signed. I don't understand why I'm being punished. I hope the animals take him. 11th of June, 1816. There has never been so poor a harvest as this season, as now. New England has become a festering graveyard. It was better when the king ruled us, not this uneven wind. Beans are froze, the cucumbers' roots, they are froze, the well is froze, the body is froze. Outside, less determined, disgraceful men and wives and daughters stampede like slow, dying bulls. Mewling, heading west. Aren't we so full of Christian grace? Persistent fog has reddened and dimmed the daylight. It is as if the sun itself has become pocked and blackened with sores. I'm so very tired. General Jacobs came to the house again, 3rd time in a day. I don't understand his ignorance. I should lie in bed and ignore the knocking. I should make him hope. That will suit him. Hope is for the weak. 13th of June, 1816. As I write this, I'm convinced that the sun has taken ill to defy me, more convinced than I've ever been of anything. Nature is wrought. Or are my superior wits deceived by a fiction gnawing in my belly? Father would say so. Now I've taken to eating loathsome foods, boiled grass and butters, if I can find them. Men came from town yesterday. Where is your brother? Where is your brother Silas? I gave them nothing. We stood on the porch for an hour's time, a senseless eternity. Across the field, a sickly creature lived about. I so wished to reach for my rifle and make quick work of it again. 18th of June, 1816. Today, Reverend Brown came. I wish to kill him to establish peace. His blood would be my own treaty. A dead bird was frozen in his hand. I bet it was God's judgment. I too have a rifle. No, Reverend, I will not beg nor be humbled before a God who would make me an American and take me so freely for it. Is he not a father who does not love his kin? So we all have our pacts to make. Soak them in blood and honor them. I will not be punished by men. 20th of June, 1816. So, I fear this is summer. Lands are all but abandoned, gone like the red sticks, save for me. What beautiful promise this is, Silas. Silas, Silas, Silas. I will not be punished, Silas. father. You want your son? Take my hands then, for I will not wash his blood from him. This land is mine, should have always been. And if summer survives, and I can find a measure of warmth, I will not bury his body, not my brother. I will let animals gnaw at his bones, and I will send him to hell in for heaven, Father. May his books be blessed in blood. You want punishment? You found it. I wish you death. Your only daughter.
Making a meal magical isn't hard. You just need the right recipe. Take a spontaneous hangout, ordering all your cravings, and ice-cold Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. There you have it, a recipe for magic. Coca-Cola and Spotify have teamed up to make your next meal magical. Just tell us your recipe for magic, and we'll create the perfect soundtrack for your plan. Click or tap the banner now to get started. Making a meal magical isn't hard. It just needs the right recipe. Take that dinner that finally happened. Add a mystery dish. And top it